Car facelifts are an opportunity for manufacturers to extend the production lifespan of one of their models. In the case of the Tesla Model 3, I think Tesla did a great job at neatening up the front end design and making it look less like a fish. In other cases though, the facelifts weren't quite as aesthetically successful. Case in point is the Mercedes SL R230 generation. The pre-facelift was such an elegant car and the whole design was so cohesive. However, when 2008 came along, Mercedes-Benz had begun moving away from the double-rounded headlights on models like the C-Class and the E-Class, and instead had moved towards a more sharp, angular Bauhaus design language. So out went the beautiful pre-facelift front end, and in came the rather disappointing facelift front end. This new facelift did an amazing job at looking less elegant than the pre-facelift, but also looking less imposing than the pre-facelift. Give it 20 years or so, and I reckon the pre-facelift examples will be fetching double the money of the facelifts. My next case is rather controversial, but I'm going with the Aston Martin Vantage. When the Aston Martin Vantage came out in 2018, not many people liked the front end in particular. It was compared to that of a catfish. Me though, I thought it looked like a really neat design, very unique and highly aggressive. For the 2024 facelift though, it just looks like every other Aston Martin, and you might say that's not a bad thing because the current Aston Martin lineup is so beautiful, but I would argue it's a little bit lazy on Aston Martin's front to keep on recycling the same general design. A universally preferred pre-facelift is that of the Fiat Punto. The 1999 Fiat Punto is a great looking car, with a shark nose front end and slim headlights. It looks especially good in one of those boy racer sporting models as well. In 2003 though, Fiat facelifted it, and it went from an aggressive shark nose front end to a gawpy dog. If you put the two sporting models side by side, the difference is sadly very noticeable. Although the latest Suzuki Swift isn't actually a facelift, it's a full-blown new model, its similarities with the styling of the pre-facelift are very noticeable, and I think most people would mistake it for actually being a facelift. The Suzuki Swift launched in 2016 is a very tidy designed, well proportioned, and looks a lot more exciting than your average Polo. For the facelift though, it looks like they left the pre-facelift car in the oven for too long, because the bodywork and grille seem to have melted. You might not think the Fiat Multipla and Aston Martin Vantage have much in common, but I would beg to differ. Much like how the Vantage facelift became too generic, the same is true of the Fiat Multipla. I'm not going to pretend I like the pre-facelift Fiat Multipla, but at least it had more character and looked unique. The facelift model though is almost as ugly as the pre-facelift, but has lost literally all the character. It was definitely not a sacrifice Fiat should have made back in 2004.